Hi, my name's Lata Hamilton and I am the founder and head coach of Passion Pioneers. I'm an accredited change manager, NLP practitioner and career change coach. You're joining me for the Reimagine Restructures Video Series. And our topic today is how to revive the morale of survivor employees. So if you don't know what this term is, survivor employees refers to the people who actually get to retain a role or move into a new role after a restructure. Now, you might actually think that these people should be pretty happy. They kept their role or they have a fantastic new role in the new structure. However, what research has found is that survivor employees, the people who are left behind, can actually carry a lot of negative emotions and a lot of real kind of crises forward into the organisation because of the organisational change that they've been through and I guess some of the things that they have lost. So today we're going to be exploring, how to rebuild the morale of those employees, and we're going to be doing it through that lens of grief and loss. And so what I would say is that if you wait until the organisational change has already happened, until the restructure's already happened and the new structure is actually in place and bedded down, if you wait until then to really, put some focus on the experience of your survivor employees, even if you don't know who they are yet, if you wait until then, it's too late. Waiting until after the change has happened is too late. Everybody is going through the change, and at the start of the change you might not know who are going to be the retained employees and who are going to be the ones who go and find other opportunities. But the thing that I think that everybody can agree on is that you don't want to be bringing sad, angry, stressed, anxious people into your future vision. So you need to really think about planning out your restructure well in advance and putting together a change program that's really going to start supporting them from at least 6 months out. And what I'd recommend is that you actually break it up into kind of 3-month chunks. So you'd start your first 3 months would be kind of like pre the transition and really kind of like starting to begin this kind of process. The 3 months of during the transition where you, provide more support, and that's really where a lot of the operational change is going to happen. And then also providing that support post for the 3 months post. 3 months even is not the longest amount of time because you can often see that these survivor employees have gone through so much from an experience perspective that they start to leave after maybe 6 or 12 months, and you get these kind of second and third waves, right up until 12 months, sometimes even up to 2 years after your restructure actually finished. You knew that they were going to be really, really important for helping the future of the company. So it's really important to start putting a focus on it at the start and really supporting them through it and helping to change the experience for them of their restructure. So we are going to do it through the lens of the 5 stages of grief and loss, and it's really working on the work of Kubler-Ross and of Kessler around these 5 stages. Okay, so the first stage is the stage of denial, and with each of the stages we're going to be looking at some mechanisms and some levers that you can pull to really, kind of shift the experience of the people going through the restructure. So in this first stage of denial, you've really got to understand that for your people this is going to be rough and raw. The announcement might have just happened, or some early announcements might have just happened, and people are really feeling quite anxious, really quite fearful, a lot of stress and a lot of concern in the organisation. So it's a bit too early, I think, at this stage to really kind of be doing like team building exercises and bonding events, and what you've really got to do is actually just leave an open space and mechanisms for feedback to allow people to work through what's going on and to be providing information in a clear, concise and transparent way. The second stage that you can help to lead your people through is the stage of anger. And what can be really helpful here is a letter writing exercise, because a letter allows somebody to have a conversation, but it's actually a conversation with themselves. They just don't realize it. So they can either write a letter to themselves or they can write a letter to somebody else, whoever it is that they want. And basically in that letter they can articulate anything that they're thinking, feeling, anything that's coming up for them, any emotions that's coming up for them. And through this stage of letter writing, this letter isn't actually going to go anywhere. It's just a cathartic exercise to I guess kind of bring what's going up on their head down into the world, into the physical world and onto paper, and stop it kind of like cycling through in their head and them getting kind of stuck in that kind of vortex of thinking. The third stage is the stage of bargaining. So I do this a lot in different coaching programs that I run. It's a kind of a like and a don't like list. So what you want to do is you want to start with the don't like list, and with the don't like list you want them to write out on one side of a page like all the things that they don't like about their organization, about your company, and then you want to get them to start thinking on the other side of the equation as well. So after they've finished that first list, they need to start thinking about all of the things that they do like about the company, all of the things that have been working, all of the things that they really love and that they really enjoy. Some people start to see for themselves that maybe this organization isn't actually for them, and that maybe it is time to move on. And you might not know which survivor employees are going to be retained at the very end, but I really do believe that sometimes people do need to find for themselves whether or not they want to stay in a place or not. So in the stage of depression, again, kind of running them through an exercise, all of the things that they think that the company actually did really badly, things that they think weren't working, things that they think were big opportunities or big gaps for the company, but then also taking them out of that depression. You don't want to leave them there. So actually getting them to start thinking about, well, what are they going to do, or what would they do to actually change some of those things? What are some ideas that they have to start, bringing some positive change into the organization? So you're getting them to, I guess, be brutal and be honest about, the place that really does shield them and really does provide a lot for them, because organizations and companies do actually provide a lot for their people. So getting them to think about that, and then also getting them to tap into their ability to contribute to the bigger picture and to a positive future. And then finally, the fifth stage is the stage of acceptance. I've seen this done really, really well with like a first birthday party. And I think it just goes to show that this journey is not something that you can expect to happen like 2 weeks after your structure is bedded down. Like that's 12 months after the structure's bedded down. So a first birthday party is a really beautiful way, or just creating a community. And here's where a lot of the sort of team building events can really start to happen, from about the 3 to 12 months mark after the new structure's bedded down, where you really start to create that bonding and create the organization that people want to really be part of. These were just some really fast, quick ideas for you, 5 steps of grief and loss that you can help your people work through, so that survivor employees don't either leave in waves, in the 1 to 2 years after your restructure, but then also to help you really get your company back performing really fast after such a disruptive change. You can find our other videos over at passionpioneers.com.au, and you can always get in touch with us over there too. See ya!